This is Robert Clotworthy, the narrator of The Curse of Oak Island, and I have a question for you. Could it be that you are listening to The Curse of Oak Island and Beyond live stream?
This is a top pocket find, mate, for sure.
Hey everyone, welcome to The Curse of Oak Island and Beyond live stream. I am your host, Jeff Freeman, and tonight we have a full house. All right, so we have, of course, Dale Kearney, Linda Simpson back on the show, Tom Burns, and our new guy that we dragged onto the show, Henry DeWitt. Welcome, Henry.
Hello.
Glad you're here with us tonight. So yeah, we slowly kind of reeled him in, by, making him a moderator and then keeping encouraging, and boom, we dragged him right in here. So now he's on the show with us. So we're glad.
Takes about a year.
Yeah. Yeah, it certainly does. So hope everybody is doing well tonight. And we've got a lot to talk about from the show last night. It didn't have some of the spectacular finds that we were hoping for, but it was still a good show nonetheless. And I wanted to throw out a few hellos to folks that are joining us here tonight. It took a while. The Facebook side kind of took a while to show any chat. There wasn't anything popping up, and I was wondering if maybe it was broken or something, but Deborah's here with us. Karen, hi Karen. Hugh he's over there. Jan is out there working. Well, Linda's doing a little bit of work from being on screen here to help out, but Jan's out there trying to cover everything tonight.
Jan's going to be in charge of crowd control.
Yeah, she's in charge of crowd control. What's going to happen when we have Jan on the show? Who's going to help out with the chat? I don't know. We'll have to bring some.
Nobody. It's a free for all.
Oh no, we can't have that.
Let them go.
Yeah, just let them go. Right. So,
we'll work it out later.
Yeah, we'll work that out later. So there's Gail. Hey, Jack Campbell. Jack's here. Jack is going to be coming back and joining us pretty soon. Wanda's here. Kat Fulton, Karen, Anne Marie, all the way from Germany. John Edwards. Hey, John, how you doing? And Barbara, Tara, Laura, John Burkhart. Welcome. I don't know if you've been here before.
I think I've seen John's name before.
Okay. All right, cool. That's great. And Michelle Gibson. Hi, Michelle. Wanda. Let's see who we got on the robots here. Hey,
this reminds me of Romper Room when you do this.
Me too. Romper, bumper, stomper, boo.
Yeah, Jeff's in the house. Jeff was like the first one here. I look like anyway. He's the first person to say something at 7:01 when I first fired things up. Anyway, but Indy's Antics, D Jones, Kate's here. Hi, Kate. $Dollar Ray, Linda Simmons.
Did you notice that Colin's not here tonight? So everybody took the night off from saying where they're from.
I noticed that. Yeah, because he always brings that up. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, we got Bass Anderson's here. Oh man, let's see what else. Who have I missed here? Pat Elliott. Oh my gosh! Thanks guys for coming by tonight, and feel free to jump in. And again, with all these people watching the chat, we shouldn't miss as much as I normally do. Ahoy! Elizabeth says ahoy. Hey, I wanted to say real quick too, while you're out there on the YouTube side, if you would click on that subscribe button for us, that really helps out a lot. And if you like content of our show, give us a thumbs up. Again, it helps out a lot. It kind of helps us know how we're doing. And it also helps on the YouTube side to kind of get out there. YouTube will put us out more if we get a lot of likes and stuff like that. So if you like our content, if you don't, then I understand. But if you do, give us a thumbs up if you don't mind. And if you'd like to help support the show, we have our Patreon channel. It's patreon.com with an E in it, Patreon. And it is JFree906 out there if you'd like to help. And for those of you that are helping out on Patreon, I thank you very, very much. We do appreciate it so very much. It helps to get everything paid for here. So we do appreciate it. Richard Snader, Richard from Catsonville, Maryland. Hey, all right. Welcome. Thanks for coming by. Let's see. I'm interested in the Chinese connection, John says. The Chinese connection. I didn't know we had a Chinese connection. Did they find some pottery that had made in China at the bottom or something? I don't know. Interesting.
No, I don't know, but I don't think they want to bring any more countries into this radar.
No, I think we have enough so far already. I think we do. So there we go. All right, let me get a few shout outs to folks as we get going here. And I did want to say real quick too that I guess Linda, now they were talking about the Beyond Oak Island. Peter Easton's Plunder was supposed to be on last night, or was it? Now they're talking about it being on next week. Is that
It will be on next week. Somehow programming on the History Channel is a total mess. They are the ones that determined that we were taking a week off. And now their numbering is messed up and their sequence of shows is messed up.
Their website's even messed up.
Yeah, it's all messed up. And they just kind of need to get their act together. But next Tuesday night will be Peter Easton's Plunder immediately following playing the Dunfield.
Yeah, playing the Dunfield.
You do everything, Linda. Give them a call.
Yeah, give them a call, Linda. Find out what's going on. You got the
I
hotline.
did, and they said someone's head rolled in programming already, and someone else's head might roll.
You know what? What a
Find
surprise
the bottom
if
of the money
you actually
pit.
call.
Yeah, find it at the bottom of the money pit. So
Right.
we will be talking about, of course, we'll be talking about playing the Dunfield on Wednesday next week at 7:30. And then once they do air Peter Easton's Plunder, we are going to be talking about that show on the 24th. Is that correct? On the 24th? That's a Thursday, 7:30 on the 24th. We'll be talking about that show. And we're going to be, we're always working on trying to get some of the people that were on that show to join us on those Thursdays because it's so fun when they do. It really is. If you haven't seen the past couple of Thursday shows that we've done, we had Gypsy Jules and we had Cindy Medina on last Thursday. That was so much fun. And then the guys from, I'm at a loss.
CSTI.
Yes.
CSTI. We've had Donnie McCauley and Matt Hawley from Steamboat Arabia.
Yep. Did you see Matt's video that he put out, the recent one?
Yes.
Yeah, it was really good.
He's great, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got a great sense of humor.
He does. And that's at the, oh my gosh.
Arabia
Steamboat Museum.
Right.
In
And that's
Kansas City.
it's his YouTube page and everything. And it was good. He did a really cool, he takes you right in there and shows you up close, talking about many of the artifacts that they brought up from the Arabia. That is really cool. And he does a fantastic job. It really does.
I can't wait to go back this spring. I haven't been for almost 5 years.
I was going to say, that's not far from you, is it?
It's about 4 hours.
That's a drive. Yeah. Yes. And thank you, Jen. I was going to mention Robert Westrick also. He was on the 1715 Fleet show of Beyond Oak Island. He's going to be on another one too, I think, coming up here, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay. And then we'll have him back on the show too. Another great guy that was fun having him on and talking. But that's been the beauty of the Beyond Oak Island shows is that we've had these folks more than willing to come on and then be able to explain a little bit more in depth of what the show was about. And that's just so fun. And everybody has been so much fun. Every one of them, and then watching Gypsy Jules and her, she has her own Zero Discrimination YouTube channel, and she's live on there quite a bit and going out and doing stuff, putting videos on. It's really a lot of fun. So if you haven't checked those out, you really should. And then we have also this week on Saturday at 2 p.m., we got Terry DeVoe. Now we were supposed to have Terry on like a month ago, and I was having internet issues that day, and I had no upload, and I couldn't even, I was all frozen and everything, and I could get nothing done. So we had to postpone, unfortunately, had to postpone Terry. So now he is going to be on this Saturday at
This
2
Saturday.
p.m. Eastern. Yep. Tom Burns and Alessandra Nadovari will be co-hosting with me. Alessandra knows him. So, I mean, it's going to be, have you met him before, Tom?
Just through chat.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Terry DeVoe, remember, he's the one talking about the Portuguese and their connection to Oak Island and the Overton Stone. He's the one that took them out to the Overton Stone and all of that. So we're really looking forward to that show. So that's what we got coming up in the next week or so. So be sure to join us for those fun shows. We're going to have, we got a lot of, and I think that, you know, as they get this can down deeper into the money pit, as we go through tonight's discussion, that's going to be a lot of fun too. So, Henry, you got a lot of guitars back there. Do you play that stand-up bass?
Yes, I do.
Really?
I play guitar, and I play electric bass, and I play stand-up bass.
Wow.
And I sing a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, some backup vocals.
Now, do you have YouTube? Do you have a YouTube channel where you're showing us all this stuff? Or
we used to. I'm in a new band now since COVID. I'm in a new band. The old band's kind of disbanded due to COVID.
Oh boy. Yep.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I know I play guitar too, but I think that we were talking about that when I come up this summer, we were going to have to get together around the campfire and strum the guitars a little bit. But we'll see. I don't know if we're going to.
So much fun.
I know. But as you folks have seen, Henry has been very, very informative. He does a lot of posts in our Facebook group page, the Curse of Oak Island and Beyond Facebook group. He does a lot of posts, a lot of maps and stuff he puts up too. But we thank you very much for that, Henry, and we thank you for being on here tonight with us.
I love it.
Yeah.
To be here.
Just took us a while to talk you into it. Same thing with Linda, trying to get Linda to come on. But yeah, we really appreciate you very much.
Hey, Jeff, someone wants to know how fast a 10-foot can goes in the ground.
You know, I think it takes like a week to get it down to the depths that they want, doesn't it?
I think
the other night they were talking about day one. They get down to 75 feet or something. They said the next day they were going to go the rest of the way.
Vanessa said this is much faster. Bigger can, deeper, heavier. The oscillator is so much stronger. There's more weight on it, so everything goes much faster.
Yeah.
I have the idea it's more like 3 days to 4 days max.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I thought we should answer it.
Yeah. So, so that's interesting because, you know, it does, you watch it, you know, and it goes back and forth and it moves down like, it looks like 3 inches.
Quarter of an inch.
Yeah. And you're thinking, oh my goodness, how long does it take for that thing to get down there? But they did move it about, I think that when they were talking, this was on last week's show, they were talking about they were doing TF1 still at that point. And I think they were talking about it moving down about 20 feet.
Now, I wonder if they run them overnight, or is it just?
I don't think so.
During work hours, they don't do it overnight.
I don't believe so.
There.
Yeah, everybody goes home for the night and gets some sleep and comes back the next morning.
I don't see any of those portable spotlights set up in the background. So
yeah, I was just wondering if they did it overnight.
Yeah,
interesting because they had the cave in that time when the collapse was at night.
Yeah, and I think
I was wondering if they worked overnight there.
I think they were pushing it that time. I think they were. Like in a crunch or something, they were really pushing it, and they did. That was at night. Remember when we, Joe, who was it? The producer that's on the island. He was talking about filming that with his phone,
with a cell phone.
Yeah,
I expect probably they've got some kind of safety or security person around there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, that would be Kat said that'd be a great question for Vanessa. Vanessa is coming on, by the way. We're going to have her on toward the end of the season. Did we schedule her already? Did we have her scheduled? She's going to be coming on at the end of the season so she can talk about everything concerning, you know, everything that's been in season 9. So we're having her coming on, but she'll
there's been talk about why don't we have Vanessa on right now while they're digging? Well, she can't talk about it.
Right. She can only talk about what's there.
In it.
Yeah. I'm bringing this up again. I got stuff coming in from Vanessa again for a fundraiser.
Yep.
T-shirt, hat, poster, and a on-show hard hat that's signed. I don't know who it's signed by, and I don't know what hat it is.
Wow.
But we're
And
gonna
that's
use it
going to be,
for
that's for Christmas daddies again for next year?
as soon as we get it, we're going to start it, and we're going to do the same thing we did with the other hats. We're just going to take like donations for $5 per chance and do it for like a month or two, and then whatever we raise goes to them anyway.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But
This
yeah,
is,
Vanessa was awesome. They sent me a box of stuff, so I don't know when it's going to get here, but it's all signed apparently.
nice. Yeah, you'll have to show us when it arrives. That'll be fun.
Definitely.
This was Karen Public Cover. Hi, Karen. Glad thank you for coming by tonight. Karen says, yes, she has heard them working at night. So
Excellent.
there you go.
Robot just said Vanessa has a 14-foot can now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she talked about that.
Oh, okay.
Holy
Sweet.
frick, they're going to have like a 40-foot soon and take them half the island.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a 14-foot can? Oh, my goodness.
Karen, did they work all night or just into the night?
Yeah, we'll have to see what she says here. Yeah, Karen would know of anybody because she's right there on the other side of the causeway.
It would make sense if they did it overnight, though. I mean, have a crew that comes in at night just to watch it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
But I mean,
They're
look at what they're
limited on
doing.
time when they're there. So
Yeah. But look what they're doing when they do. I mean, they've got such a crew going on. You've got the people pulling. Now, they'd have to take all the spoils and set them off to the side and pile them up.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Right.
They've got nobody there doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
no, they probably have the cans. They probably have the cans going down, and then the next day they come in and just take all the stuff out.
Just
Yeah.
into the night, she said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just into the night. Right.
Oh,
And then
okay.
stop. Yeah.
Wrapping things up. They could have some trucks or equipment running around there at night too, right? The can wouldn't necessarily have to be running.
Right. Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. When they're pulling all those spoils out, then Gary goes over and he runs over them with the metal detector, and they kind of look for wood or whatever sticking out of there, and then they got to load it up, take it down to the wash plant, and go through the wash plant. I mean, it's got to be. There's got to be what 25 people making this operation happen or something, because
they're going to have to get rid of all that stuff from the wash plant before they start the next day, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Then it goes up to the wash table. After the wash plant. So yeah, a lot of stuff getting hauled around there for sure. Okay. Yeah. Karen, here she said right here, this is Karen, by the way. They have to be careful of the noise bylaws, but you can't really hear them except at our place. And it isn't that loud. So there you go. So
I wonder if they bring in lighting or whatever, like if they're working in the dark,
yeah,
they
have to.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. I've never
Light
seen that
stand.
portable light set up in the background.
They may move them during the daytime too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, get them out of the way. Yeah.
I think they can't drill Oak Island to clear through the night because they just don't have enough people. Who are they going to get to run the wash plant and to metal detect and to do all those things?
See, we only see part of it though. They may have a different crew at night. You never know.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't. And they want to keep the cameras running too for anything that happens or, anything that's found.
Some of those people get to sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They bring in the locals from overnight.
Yeah. Yeah. This was Karen again. People did complain, but they really, it was more about the traffic noise than anything else.
Sure.
And then, yeah.
Yeah. Karen says they have the big light standard. So
Yep. This is Hugh. Hugh said, whoops, not that one. This one has slipped past me there. Oh, Hugh said, who needs to sleep anyway?
Sleep's
I know.
overrated.
That's what I keep saying because I got so much going on all the time. And then I don't get to bed until, 11:30, 12 o'clock, and I get up at 5:30 in the morning. So it's like, it's catching up. It's catching up to me, I tell you. I gotta have
old people have to sleep.
I know. And I need
4:30
it.
comes early, eh, Linda?
Yeah.
Let's see. John said, okay, here we got a question from John. He said, two human bones. Did they ever find out the age of those bones? One was from European, or one was European, and the other one was Middle East. I thought they did. I thought they had.
They did. They age ranged them, but I'd have to go back and dig through notes. That was what, 3 seasons ago?
Yeah.
Yes, they dated them.
Yeah.
They sure
Yeah.
did.
We'll have to look at our notes in case anybody, or unless anybody has
and
that.
they found them down around 160 feet, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And H8.
Yeah.
I think it was
H8,
H8. Dave Petrella says 1650s for the bones.
Yeah, it was 16 somethings. And Dave would know. Dave's been on the island.
Yeah. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. I knew somebody out there would know and jump that on there pretty quick. So, yeah, this is true right here. This is Kat saying about how we are so very lucky to have Karen's insight and Collins. You betcha. Absolutely. we appreciate both Karen and Colin so very much. Karen gives us pictures as she goes around, and then she lets us know who's coming and going on the island. That's really good too. So that way, the blue Corvette. Remember the Corvette going across, and we're like, "What's that? Whose is that?" Until we saw the license plate, then we knew who it was. But yeah,
Karen has her eyes and boots.
yeah, exactly. And then Colin going around, and Karen, she goes around in her kayak taking pictures. Colin, we appreciate Colin and his pictures very much, but he's not a big old nice boat and everything. Karen's out there paddling. She's doing the work.
Karen is hardcore.
Stealth mode.
Yeah, stealth mode. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's stealth mode going around the island. But we appreciate you very, very much, Karen. Thank you so much for what you do and what you bring to the group, for sure. Let's see. I'm just reading one of these. This is from Cheryl. Hello, everyone. I made it. I'm so glad to be here. Last night's show inspired me. It pumped me up on my hope on high. Yep. I believe there is treasure in that hole. Now I believe it more than ever. I tell you what, I think I'm still holding out. I was the one that was saying there was 2 cans that went down, 2 caissons. There might be 3. I knew it was going to be more than 1, but I don't know. But I think they're going to find something. And unfortunately,
I've been saying that since the start.
I think they're going to find something in this one right here. I think that's why they're stretching it out. I think because it could very well, depending upon what they find, if it's significant enough, would it not put an all stop to
culturally significant?
It just depends on what it is. So,
but if nothing else, we're going to confirm if they're in the right spot.
Yes,
where the money pit is.
Yep.
Right, and then you can put an X through it and say, no, we're in the wrong spot. We need to look someplace else.
Yep.
But they're going to nail it down as to, okay, now we have a center of gravity or a center to work from.
Yep.
Someone asked if they return to Nova Scotia yet. They don't usually come until April.
Right.
April or May.
Yeah.
But there is confirmation there. There is confirmation. Colin's confirmed it that they have their cars already booked and stuff like that. So
yeah.
They are coming soon.
Well, and we do know that the folks that are local, and I'm not going to name names, but the folks that are local, we know that there's a lot of work that goes on all winter long. Yep. There's some of them that are on the island all the time. You guys have seen, remember at the end of last season, not 9, but in the last part of last season of season 8, and then we started season 9, and you see all these boulders all the way around the island, working as a breakwater, so that they don't get the erosion that they're getting. Now, where do you think those came from, and when do you think they got put there? So Billy's out there working
every day.
That's right.
Over the winter
Billy's
months,
working hard.
Yeah, he is, and we know that Scott's out there quite a bit, and so the locals can go over there whenever they want and do work. I mean, Doug spent a whole winter there going through Dan Blankenship's files in the basement. So, I mean, they are there. So to say that, anyway, we'll leave that alone because we're not going to get into some of that stuff there. That's not to be told.
Let's just say they work through the winter, some of them.
Yeah, exactly.
They do.
Exactly. Yep. Barbara said to quote Emerson, Lake and Palmer, gold drives a man to dream. Yep. That's for sure. Seth Bound. Hey, Seth Bound, how you doing? He's here with us tonight. So, all right. Well, let's jump into this one. So we got season 9, episode number 17, Blast from the Past. And if that didn't tell you what they found during the show, nothing will, right? We were thinking about that. We were talking about that last week when we saw the name of the show, just like we're speculating about next week's called Playing the Dunfield. And exactly what that means, but Blast from the Past, it did have significance to what the show was about or some of the finds. So anyway, let's jump into some of the pictures as we go. And there's my usual first one of the aerial shot of the island looking down on Smith's Cove. Man, I just love these pictures. I think they're so awesome. And there's the guys arriving out at the money pit. They're getting ready to start of the day, getting ready to get the this new can put in before they actually go over and push the button. And we finally get to see this gentleman right back here We haven't seen a whole lot of them this season. But what did Rick call him?
The elder statesman.
Elder statesman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan Henske on the scene. We're really happy to see Dan come out there. And he was able to name this particular can, which I thought was really kind of neat. Thank you, Paula. Yeah, you know me in my pictures, right? So he came out and he named the can Early Christmas 1. So they called it EC1, Early Christmas 1. I thought that was really cool. I would love to meet Dan Henske. I guess you know him, or have you met him before, Dale?
Yes.
Cool. That's awesome.
He's really nice.
Yeah. He really does seem like a really nice guy. I'd love to.
Very friendly, very personable.
And his mind is so sharp. I mean, they'll go to him and ask him questions about something on the island, and he will tell you, oh yeah, well, we found that right over here. And that, remember, he was talking about he told him right exactly where to dig in Smith's Cove to find the coconut fibers. And sure enough, they found the coconut fibers.
He's got a really sharp memory. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess he's been there since the days of Blankenship. Since you used to work for Dan Blankenship, right?
Yep. Yep. Dan the man for sure. Yeah. But we're really glad to see him out there. And let's get those off there so I'm not covering Tom's face up all the time. Sorry about that, Tom. You ended up being the guy on the bottom there. So
hey, what can I tell you?
So yeah, really, that's what Anne Marie said. Very excited to see Dan with the team.
Before it disappears, Jeff, Jan made a nice little comment there. She talked to Vanessa on another show last night. Did you see that comment?
Let's see. I got to talk to Vanessa on another show last night. She said they can overlap the holes. They fill in one and go right back to drilling one next to the old one. Yeah. That's true. Yep. Yeah, she mentioned that before too on the show. Yeah. The scary thing to me about that is, and obviously they do fill it up. I'm wondering if you've got some of these holes like H8, that or C1. I'm sorry, C1, that that there is a chamber down there because they've put a camera down in it, right? So if they were to fill up one that they didn't find anything, but they didn't put a camera down. Why they don't put a camera down every single one of them, I don't know.
How do you know?
Well, we don't. That's very true.
Exactly.
Thank you, Linda, for getting me on that. But you're right. We don't know for sure. But if there is a chamber down below one of them, and if they don't know that and they fill it back up, they're going to be pouring that dirt, right? Or the backfill, they're going to be pouring it right into that chamber.
I think everything is thoroughly checked. We just don't see it.
You're probably right.
Yeah, I think they're right on the ball with checking everything before they do anything.
Yeah, you're probably right, and that just bothers me that they would fill up a chamber that's down there with all the backfill.
C1 wasn't backfilled, was it?
No, it's still there.
No.
It was capped.
Yeah,
C1 is capped.
Yeah, they went down below the level and they put a cap on it and then covered it up with dirt. That's what that guy was welding that day. He was welding the lid on it before they actually put the dirt back on and got ready to start this year's cans going in. So yeah, Vanessa's great. She really is. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna have her on. You guys just get ready with your questions because we'll be able to cover a lot of stuff with her. She's fantastic, and for her to send the stuff for Dale and the charity, that's awesome. And I saw her, when they were getting in during this here, when Dan went over to actually get ready to push the button and get the oscillator started, and she was talking with him. She looked like she was getting kind of emotional. I mean, hanging around with Dan, that's got to be so awesome. I would love that.
In past years, she had Dan Blankenship start the oscillator, and she had David, and Dan, of course, is gone, and David's retired, and it's a sense of moving on beyond.
Yeah, you're right.
And who knows how long Dan Henske will be able to come out to the island and do these things. So it is kind of emotional.
Because it's a long drive from Halifax.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Dan seemed very happy to be able to push that button and start it up.
Yeah,
he did. He said something about, I'm getting better at this. So yeah, he's that's pretty neat. I wanted to point out one thing on this picture too, is that you see this back here in the woman's memorial back here, and you see all that wood that's floating. it's full of water. Obviously, it's all backed up. There is a shaft there, and you see all this wood floating. And I'm wondering if that wood is coming up out of that shaft, or are they dumping wood over there? But I would have to think, because that wood, they never took all that wood out of that shaft.
Yeah, that's all in that shaft.
So this is wood that's coming up out of that shaft and floating on the water right there. Yeah, interesting stuff going on there. So anyway, there they are getting ready to get things rolling. And this is where I wanted to show. This was a picture from last week where they were showing where this new can is. This one right here on the left, large red circle. This is TF1 that they did last week and they finished up. And then, of course, this one here is the one, EC1, early Christmas one that they're doing this week, or started last night. And CD 4.5 was right on the edge. And now CD 4.5 is the one where the metal, if I remember correctly, it's one of the ones where the metal was brought up. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, that's a interesting hole there. So we'll see what they come up with. Dave Petrella says F4 needs to be next, right below C1. Oh, so it'd be down here. Yeah, I've got a picture of the grid, but I wanted to show this. And one thing I want to point out too as we go along here is that it is right on the edge. This circle that you see out here, where you see the Dunfield Dig location, that's this dotted line going all the way around here that we know was 100 feet in diameter and 140 and change feet at the bottom. This circle right here is the bottom of the Dunfield Dig, and that's about 140 some feet down. And then the outer rim up here, so you know that it's a cone shape, okay? Now, we were talking about this in the pre-show today, talking about this can going down right here, and for a little while, for a ways, maybe 40 to 60 feet, we've kind of talked about, that they would be hitting... Yeah, if that they would actually be, as that cone, as they're going down the edge of it, they're going to be hitting some of the Dunfield backfill that was pushed back into the hole as they begin that. And then eventually they will be past that and they'll be into virgin ground heading towards whatever's down there. So for a little ways, but they didn't bring up any wood. I remember how they were doing this one, and we'll get to that as we go along here, but they weren't bringing up any wood. So here's the F4 that the Dave was talking about right here. So they've done, TF1 was done last week. EC1 is being worked on now, last night and also next week. We'll see more of that. So an F4 right here is where Dave thinks. What's got you all fired up about F4, Dave? Let us know what you think there. Hi, Amy. So, yeah, so we're going to see, but I've got a feeling. And again, we don't know for sure how many caissons went down last year in season 9, but it's interesting to think about. I think they found something. I think they're going to come up with something out of this one. I don't know. I could be wrong, and I'll say, I'll gladly admit it. But
when you join TF1, C1, and EC1, right, you almost made your own tunnel. You're drawing a straight line across the money pit, right?
Right.
Yeah, very true.
There's not much space in between.
No.
There's only 8 feet between them, and C1's a 6-foot can, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they gave themselves a foot to play with each way.
Yeah, you got a foot on either side of it, and you're exactly right. Yep. That's neat. Let's see. You guys are not helping me with the chat. You're supposed to be helping me with something. What are the strings of small circles looking like? Okay. Let me jump back.
That's the walking.
That's the drift.
Yeah, these lines that you see here, these little circles, these are actually the walk of the, they're actually wells. They're digging wells when they're drilling the other drill program when they're trying to find it. This is how much it deviates as down. So the hole will start, like, let's say right here. And by the time it gets down to its depth, it's actually walked all the way over here by bending.
That's
and
the 6-inch borehole.
Correct.
Yep. That's why they drop a gyroscope down each time to see how far it moves.
Right.
Yeah, I know that deviation, and that's all logged by Stephen Guptill. So he keeps track of that. So he knows exactly, where it deviated to. Otherwise, you would think it's going straight down, but it's not. And so if you didn't know where it was deviating to, then you wouldn't know where you have actually explored and where you haven't. So, I mean, a rock can, if it hits a big boulder on the edge, it's going to push it over a little bit. Then it hits another one, it's going to push it over a little bit. It's going to continue on that trajectory. So that's what that is. It's the walk of the actual drill going down, the borehole going down.
So TF1, is that would be going into the FDR team's area, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I believe that's what all that wood was.
Yeah. They talked about a platform that had collapsed or that they knocked down, and they were finding wood from that platform.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
they were talking about new wood and old wood.
Yeah. So where they're drilling now, EC1, they're hoping to find spoils from the that particular.
I don't know. Are they or not?
Yeah,
That collapse.
they're trying to get down to the chapel vault, right?
Yes.
That's what they're trying to find is the chapel vault, which I think is down
Great. Yeah.
anywhere from, well, depending who you talk to, anywhere from 90 to 150 feet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and they mentioned that platform. I don't know if because I know they brought up all that wood out of TF1. They brought up a ton of wood out of there. Go ahead. I was just wondering if all that wood was the actual tunnel that Roosevelt's team, that was the
shaft.
Well, the shaft, yes. I'm sorry, shaft, not tunnel. The gold the old gold mining and wrecking company, right? Is that what it was?
That's it.
Yeah, they did their hole in 1909. That's when they did theirs.
Yeah, exactly. And they
went down. They went down to 100. By the time they hit bedrock, they were in the, depending on which hole they drilled or where they started, they get down to the 150-foot range before they bottomed out too.
And how long? We were talking about that. How long were they actually doing their work?
They started in August and they were off the island on November 4th.
Wow.
Yeah.
So one season was all they did.
They rented the money.
Wow.
And then they got in a fight with Fred Blair. So that didn't help the case.
Yeah. You go figure all the. Yep. Let's see. Oh, okay. Dave's piping in here now. Let's see. So F4, bottom of the Dunfield dig. The highest amount of gold detected in the borehole and only silver detected according to episode 1 this season. Okay, cool. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. Darlene says Tom's sound is going in and out sometimes.
Okay. I just changed the mic there a bit.
Yeah, I'll bring that up a little bit. Let's see. They'll have to change it to the vault if they find it. Yeah, the chapel vault. What does it say? They'll have to change it to the chapel vault if they find it. I think, like I said, I think this borehole is going to find, or this caisson is, they're going to find something here. That's my feeling anyway. And I don't know if they put in a third one or not. We'll find out. Okay, so next they jump over to the war room, and this is where the team is meeting. Krista, and there she is. There, they got her on the TV screen there. And what they're doing is they're taking a look at these pieces right here. There's the team, and you can see these pieces laying out on the table. These were found in lot 15. They were detected a while back, and then, of course, Gary and Peter, I think it was Gary and Peter were out there on lot 15, and they found these pieces, and then they sent them over to Krista so that she could get a look at them. Let's see. Hey, Jack, how you doing? Jack's here with us. Glad you're here, Jack. And this is them there pieces here. Now, this piece was a spike that was broken off, and it had the rose head, or I guess they call that the rose head spike, squared off. And then this hammer, and then of course another spike that they found over here. This was that hammerhead, a claw hammerhead.
The little one.
Yeah, a very small one. These were all found on Lot 15, proving that there was human activity in the area prior to 1795. Now, why is that significant? Why did they bother? Okay, the reason why they bothered with this was so that they can obtain permits, right? Do any
They
of you want to
can't do
elaborate?
that
Go ahead.
road unless they can prove it was prior to the discovery of the money pit.
Right.
Right.
So that's why they're doing this. They needed to find some artifacts over there, and they needed to get them dated so that they could know exactly, like you just said, so they can obtain the permits. Krista tells the team during the analysis that the spikes showed it was mostly iron with a very small percentage of phosphorus, 0.3%, which would make it pre-1840s. Wrought iron, but the fact was that the rose head spike is handmade and would push the date back to before 1790. And I got my cat over here trying to look up as she's going to jump on the table if I don't.
A couple of people are commenting on the hammer there, Jeff. They're saying it's small. And you said earlier in the pre-chat, you think it's a farrier hammer?
That's what Linda was saying. Yeah, Linda said it looked like a farrier's hammer.
And that could be used. That could be used to put ox shoes on.
Yes.
Okay. A couple of people were asking.
Yep.
Yeah, which would make sense if that's where the road is, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to jump ahead.
No, you're fine. That's exactly right because the other use for a little claw hammer like this would be for very small cabinetry work. If you're working on building like a jewelry boxes and things of that nature, you're going to use a very small hammer because you're going to have those very small nails.
Small nails.
But where it's located, it would be more for ox.
Yes.
Yes, because they're not building jewelry boxes on
right. Right.
Yeah.
Not out in the middle of a trail, Yeah, exactly. But that would be the other use.
Building coin chests.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. So I think that's a very good observation, is a farrier hammer for putting ox shoes on the oxen and the horses and whatnot. And you
on
think
the previous episode, they were showing the pathway when Gary was detecting down that pathway.
Yep.
And going past the kiln. Now they headed up they showed a line heading up into Nolan's property to a shaft somewhere that was in line with that path. Did you guys notice that?
No, I missed that.
No?
Oh, okay.
Well, they keep talking about the Pine Tar Kiln. If that's truly what it is a Pine Tar Kiln. And I didn't realize until last week that they were actually going this way. I thought they were going from the stone road down here and heading towards the money pit. They were trying to trace that. But
I think that's what they started out doing.
Yeah, that's what I
But
thought.
Well, I think it was Guptill that said that. Guptill was, he had a dotted line and it headed up into Nolan's property to a shaft that Nolan had dug at one time. And it was right in line with that road that Guptill kind of laid out to the team.
Wow, I'm gonna have to dig that up and find that because that's pretty interesting. And I know you got the maps and stuff.
I'll see if I can look it up.
Yeah, if you can, please, and we'll definitely put it out and talk about that because that's interesting. But I was kind of wondering this whole thing about this going up here to the Pine Tar Kiln, but that's where this obviously has renewed interest for them. For some reason. But I thought they had kind of determined that they found a lot of ox shoes along that path as well. So,
and it's headed for lot 15 and the money pit's in 18, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I was wondering why this was so important.
Isn't there a path? They were finding shoes, I thought, from the supposed kiln towards the money pit.
Yeah, I think there's another trail or suspected trail that runs off of that red line towards the money pit.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought there was.
Yeah. I always thought they were going this way.
I think that's what they're trying to draw the conclusion of now is that road runs up that red line and that branching off of that red road, there might be another trail.
Okay. Because they did find this one over here too. That looked like it was, so there could be several. There probably are several.
All over a few hundred years.
Yeah, all over the place. Yep. And when we get Terry on, as you guys remember, they were talking about the stones that were out here in the water. And Terry had looked at an overhead shot and he was looking at these stones and he predicted that this wharf here, this stone road right here, extended all the way out into the water, which would have been probably dry ground, depending upon how many years ago. They said what a foot of water depth for every 100 years.
For every 100
100
years.
years, yeah.
Okay,
1
that
foot.
it would have been lower. So
And
chances are,
that road wasn't there.
No.
yeah, right, exactly.
Definitely
This
not.
man-made road wasn't here. This one, the one running across the bottom. So, yep. Let's see. So anyway, yeah. So that's pretty interesting. So that's what they're doing out there with the whole lot 15 thing. And there it is. You get a better look at the square, that spike with the rose head on it, and then that making it prior to the rose head and the square shank makes it prior to 1790. And a wrought iron, and the hammerhead again was iron, and it was clean, no manganese, sorry, small amount of phosphorus in that one as well. She said that this could again date the item to pre-1840s, and this type of hammerhead has been seen around since the 1500s. So doesn't say that it is the 1500s, but has been seen around since the 1500s. So it could date back that far, but unfortunately, we just don't know for sure.
No.
There it is there, and you see how small it is in his fingers there. So yeah, I think that's exactly what that is a farrier's hammer. Very good observation. All right. So then after this, we jump over to Linda's favorite place, the wash table.
Don't even.
They need a bigger hose for that wash table.
I think they need to get more pressure. What do you think?
They could have called a local fire department in and hose it down.
This is like with Linda. I get so fired up every time I see this thing because, later in the show, they found that little piece of paper. They weren't sure what it was, but how many little pieces of paper are they blasting off of that table with
You
this
can see them flying off in the picture. No, I'm just kidding.
Shakespeare's manuscripts could have been on that table, and they are in millions of little tiny scraps now, wet, crappy pieces of paper all over the woods.
Yeah.
That piece of paper was probably 8.5 by 11 when the hose hit it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly right. I mean, come on, you can't use a garden hose. I mean, why can't you?
Where is Laird when I need him?
Maybe that's the blast from the past.
Maybe that is the blast from the past. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're right though. It's when Linda brought that up. I mean, remember early on when they were using the wash table, this is a couple seasons ago, when Jack Bagley was over there using the wash table, and he had so much splatter on him, at the end of the day, and it was because he was blasting everything with that. And come on, man. No, there's a lot of little pieces of evidence that you're blowing off that table. Anyway.
I see Tara made the comment there. It looks like a fire hose. Well, that is a fire hose. That's an inch and a half fire hose.
Yeah, that's an inch and a half fire hose.
It could be blowing coins and buttons off that table and leather straps.
You got her going, Jeff.
Tune in
all
next
riled up now.
Yeah.
Sorry, they got the scoop there, that little delicate scoop to look after that stuff.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, right here. Yep. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so so we gotta get a hold of who's the manager? Scott Barlow is the manager, is he not?
Yep.
We need to get Scott and go, Scott, come on. Turn the pressure down. Get a garden hose. We're gonna get him a little bucket of water and a brush. That's how we're gonna tell him to do it from now on. Oh my goodness.
Gentle rain.
Yep. Yeah, gentle rain, exactly. So we see a new face over here for now. We got Alex and Peter and Eric. Eric is out here, and it said under his name. I had it earlier, and I didn't get a picture of it brought up, but it said surveyor. So that was under his name. It said Eric, and I've forgotten his last name, but it said surveyor underneath.
Friend of Steve.
So I'm sorry.
Friend of Steve.
Yeah. So he must be a friend of Steve's out there. Yeah, another surveyor. But wouldn't that be cool? I mean, I would do that job. I would do that. I would really work the wash table without a fire hose, but I would do it.
Yeah.
I
I'd definitely volunteer for that job.
Oh man, wouldn't that be cool though? I mean, we kept seeing Michael John out there, doing his thing, working the wash table, and he found several pieces that while he was working it. We haven't
Well,
seen a
I'm
whole
glad
lot.
they're going over the stuff on the wash table like that. That's great.
Yeah.
Like when they're looking at the items go down that conveyor, it seems like it's moving so quickly.
Yes.
And
That's what I thought too.
It
but
is,
now
but all
they're
really
they're
doing is separating it by size.
Yeah,
yes, yeah.
that's true.
So I guess they take the stuff and put it on that table and have a closer look.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. That's a
Does
three-part
it all go on the table, or is it just stuff that they think is going to be something there? I wonder.
It all goes on there.
I
They
think
said
it all goes on there.
That's a tedious job.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but I'd still do it.
Oh.
How many of you
And-
out there in the chat would do it? How many of you guys would work the wash table? Give me a raise of hands. How many would work the wash table?
Me
I
and
know
Tom
I
are
would.
going down this summer.
Yep.
They need not salt water to do that because they can't use that on the wash table or on the
Right.
the
think it
wash
was-
plant. So they're using the water from the swamp. It appears to me the clean water from this clean, relatively
I
speaking,
think Karen posted the truck water in every day.
for the wash table.
Yeah.
But the wash plant
Plant,
is why
no,
they had to refill the swamp so they
Yeah.
can use the water from there for the wash plant. So they're going through a ton of water.
Okay, we got a lot of people that will run that wash table. We could get a lot of people, and we could get several wash tables going. I mean, look at all the volunteers we got already. I'm telling you, I'm in. I'll do it.
Yep.
I'd do it in a heartbeat. All right, so they find this piece of strapping, this leather. They did find that, which would be pretty cool. We'll probably see this come up in a new episode to see exactly. They'll try to get it, get a look at it. Maybe run it over to the bookbindery.
I wonder if that's what they mentioned. There was a quick clip today that I saw. Next week, they were back to the gentleman that's a leather expert.
Ah,
Yes. Back at the bookbindery.
I've forgotten his name. I'm very forgetful
Oh, yeah.
tonight. I don't remember. Daughtry?
Oh, this-
Daughtry?
But he was putting it quite early.
Yeah.
If I heard it correct. I just
What's the guy
saw
in
it quickly.
Halifax?
Yep.
He's 10 minutes from my house.
You wouldn't run
Your
over and
old
ask
house.
him, would you?
I'll give him a
Yeah.
shot. I'll go down tomorrow.
Landry. That's it. I was thinking Daughtry. Joe Landry. Thank you.
Joe Landry. Yeah.
Who was that?
Yeah,
that
that's
was
down in historic
Jake,
properties.
Who came up with that? Joe Landry. That was Jacqueline. Thank you, Jacqueline. And then, of course, Dave Petrella jumped in right there, too. Joe Landry. That's who it is. Yeah, Paula Steen said I would, but I would do it without the fire hose. Yeah, me too. There you go. Yep. And I wouldn't use a Jan said,
garden
I wouldn't
bucket.
use a fire hose. What's that?
Little gardening bucket.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. So here's a picture of some of the other leather that they found in the Money Pit spoils from different places. Very cool stuff that they found. And again, why all this leather down there?
Can you,
You
make
know,
this a little bigger, Jeff?
Yeah.
Please. Thank you.
So these pieces here were just chunks of leather. We really didn't. I don't think we ever found out exactly what they didn't have, like, fibers or anything like that were attached to them. They were just chunks of leather. This one down here, if I remember correctly, they actually found like paper fiber to this one, like it was some sort of a book cover or something like
the
that.
front piece or the back piece of a book with paper adhering to it.
Right. Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what that
Could have been a ledger.
Yeah.
For what they're taking in.
Yep. It could be. And remember that? Yeah, that they found that strap that looked like a boot strap or something, but that was over in the on the Stone Road, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
And then this piece of leather too. And then of course there was the boot heel, this thing here, which they
1492 or something.
1492. Yep.
Columbus.
Columbus. It was Columbus's boot down in the Money Pit. So yeah, so interesting pieces of leather. So look, and again, why are these down there? Well, obviously there was men down there working. So, come off their clothing, the boots or whatever, something that got left behind. Maybe it is in connection with the bones. If the whole body was down there, I mean, they probably, I don't know, would they have taken his boots off of him? And they said that boot heel was actually it was more.
They said they were high end,
Yes.
more like somebody of means would wear, as opposed to someone who was enslaved and digging that hole, and then they conked him on the head and left him there.
Yeah. Pat from Mississippi says no sound again. Is anybody else? Do you all, the rest of you, do you hear us? The
Tell
sound
Pat,
coming through?
tell Pat to refresh.
Yep, do a refresh, Pat. Well, she can't hear me say it if she can't has no sound. How do you say
Scroll it.
refresh? Refresh. I don't know sign language for
You
refresh.
need little
Scroll
signs to hold up.
Yeah, little signs I can hold up. Refresh. Okay. I have sound. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay. Barbara says she has sound. So there we go.
Just type
Bootstrap
in chat.
Jeff. Oh, Houston, Texas, Dave. Old Bootstrap Jeff. Yeah, that's me. Bootstrap Jeff. Sound good on YouTube. All right, cool. We can hear. We can hear you. All right, sounds good. Thank you. All right. Takes about 15 seconds. Don't forget there's that 15-second delay from, what we say to what they when they actually hear us. About 10 to 15 seconds. Yeah, okay, there goes Jan. Jan said refresh. Okay. I can use closed captioning. Who was that? Oh, Jacqueline said I can use closed captioning. So here's where Jack comes over, and he's working over there with it. And yeah, you notice the difference between them. We got Jack over here with his bare hands, Grizzly Bear Jack, right?
Yep.
What did he call Dr. Spooner?
Spoon dog.
Spoon dog.
Spoon dog.
Did you see the look on Ian Spooner's face when he said that? He's kind of like, you're thinking, oh, they're not going to air that. They won't air that. They aired it.
Of course they will.
Yeah, they aired it. But there he is with his bare hands, and Alex has got his gloves on. I'd probably have gloves on. I don't know.
I don't know how you find anything with gloves on. I can't.
It's true.
I can't garden with gloves on. I can't imagine doing that with gloves.
Yeah. If I'm raking the stuff around with my hands, I'd probably have gloves on. But then when I really want to look closely, I'd take them off because you don't know about a piece of pottery or something in there, or cut your fingers. But then again, I wouldn't. Those gloves are pretty heavy duty. What could you feel with those, right?
Yeah, I just feel you got to take one for the team and go barehanded.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Come on, you can do it. So there they are. They find this piece of paper, and they're not sure. But I was very curious too because he was talking about all these little shiny pieces of something or other on it.
Little sparklies.
Yeah, little sparklies on it. But pretty cool to find that. There's another shot of it there. So it's obviously some sort of a piece of paper because you can see the fibers on the edge. But is it like this? And that's why I grabbed that picture. They showed this on the show last night. This piece, now this is the VI piece of paper, a parchment that they found back in, who found this one? Was that the Truro Company?
Yeah, that was in 1897.
Chapel or head?
Chapel and Fred
Chapel.
Blair were running a drill bit, and they pulled it up on the drill bit.
I have a question. Where is this piece at now?
I don't know.
It's been lost.
Has it been lost?
No one knows where it is.
It's with the stone.
Yeah, that's what. Hi, Wally. I didn't. Wally Lafferty. Thank you for coming, Wally. That's the first time I've seen you pop up. That's exactly what Wally said right here.
Yeah.
He said what he's asking. Whatever happened to that VI piece of paper? Was it lost? Yeah, apparently
It's with the
it was.
90-foot stone.
Yeah, exactly.
So much of that stuff was lost because nobody thought it was really important. The gold bits on the drill were important, but that piece of parchment wasn't important at that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Gone.
But
Did they lose the gold? Linda, did they lose the gold bits too?
That was the guy that there was a guy working for them, and when that drill bit came up and they saw the gold and he saw it too, they pulled these little bits of gold off. And didn't someone see him sticking it in his pocket and then he disappeared?
He left and never came back. Yeah.
Yep. And so what happened to those now?
That must have been a lot of gold if he didn't come back.
Well, they said it was like 3 links of little chain too, or something like that.
Well, the story goes that he tried to start his own company or something at one time to come back and get permits, but it never worked.
Yeah, I always wonder where these things went.
Yep.
Just gone, unfortunately.
Which
is why we all have to really appreciate what the Laginas are doing.
Yeah.
Yep. And the way they're going about doing it.
Yeah, documenting everything. And
Fred Blair was the last one that had the VI paper.
Yeah, that's what Dave says. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see.
Jan said she thinks they showed the paper in a baggie during an earlier episode.
Really?
No, that was a piece. No, that's a piece of paper that was found, a piece of parchment that was found by the Laginas during their
Okay.
search,
Okay.
but not the VI paper.
Yeah. Actually, it may
I
have
don't
gone to
believe
Dan
so.
Blankenship. Yeah, Dave said he thought it actually went to Dan Blankenship. I don't know. Huh.
I can't see Fred Blair throwing it away.
Yeah,
No.
that's what Bass is saying here. Always
Uses
bothered me that they would allow some of the things of such importance to be lost.
I
in
wonder if
two-
it's actually in the Nova Scotia archives.
I don't know.
I have to
Why don't
find.
you
I
do some
got
research
a
on that
connection
for
there.
us?
I'm going to find out.
Okay, please. That'd be great.
I'll make a call
You-
tomorrow.
You can ask, but if they have it, they should let Doug know because he said it's lost.
Yeah.
I'll take it here and show you.
All right.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, if it's there
Yeah.
and they haven't
absolutely.
told the guys on the island that it's
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
I
That
just
would
wonder
be
if it would be in
important.
the archives. It might be. I don't know. I'll find out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we lost. we lost Henry. He said, "I'm so sorry. His phone went dead." Well, thanks for being here as much as you did, Henry. Unless you find your plug to plug it back in. John said that any news on when the archaeologists are coming back? I don't think they came back at all in season 9, and
No.
until they get things worked out with the archaeology project going on, they probably won't. When it has to do with the cooperation between CCH?
CCH.
Yeah, CCH and the Oak Island team. Hopefully the premier can have something to help with that. I don't know, but I know they've been continuing talks with them. You know, there has been ongoing talks to try to get things worked out. But that's why they had to let them go off the island because it was interfering with.
I mean, they've had Laird, I guess, basically stuck in the money pit from what we've seen so far this
Right.
year. Anyway,
Right.
The hat that I have that was signed by everyone into what, October or
Yeah.
November, Dale?
Yeah, I picked them up. I picked them up in November. So
Yeah, and the archaeologists didn't sign it, just Laird. The ladies did not sign it, so they weren't back.
Right, Liz and Miriam and
Helen.
Helen. Thank you.
hopefully they get a bunch of these permits in order for the road and the things they're finding. They'll be able to bring them back.
It makes sense to have them there. It truly does. I
It
mean,
does.
but
Maybe
I
add
understand.
some to
I understand their reasoning. I
Yeah,
do.
not if it shuts down the whole island, though.
Exactly, and that's where it was heading.
Yeah.
And that was something else, we just, remember the circles. You got the circle down the southeast corner of the swamp. You got another circle up by the eye of the swamp.
Yep.
And then you've got the area that's outside of the money pit dig area.
Mhm.
And then there was little spots here and there around the island, little red spots here and there around the island. Eventually, every time they found something, it was shutting down that area. And that's why they just had to stop it because it was like, okay, pretty soon we're not going to be able to dig at all. And we need to get something worked out here. But I really hope that they get something. But we knew that they had to have found something, and then Laird talks about this, the fact that, they show on the episode, they show him finding the pieces of pottery down the southeast corner of the swamp. And I'm thinking, really? That's all it was? And then you see all those other circles around, that was not all it was.
No,
As a
there has
matter
to be
of
more than
fact,
that. There has to be more than that.
yeah, and matter of fact, I think that was one of the less significant things that they found was that.
Yeah,
those
I
pieces
was
of
told
pottery.
that they found things in all of those areas, and the least significant was that pottery that Laird found
Yeah.
with Miriam that day.
Yep.
So it's not just 2 old pieces of pottery that shut down those 4 acres.
no, there was something more significant.
Yeah, there was a lot more, and it was way more important.
Darlene made a point there. Tim announced a big announcement for the filming.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up here real quick. Tim Houston, our premier, has announced this today. The funding announced by Premier Tim Houston on Tuesday includes $15 million for a new fund that will benefit local film and television productions, and another $8 million toward a sound stage.
in Halifax. It's mostly for movies.
Yeah, that's for movies.
It's,
Okay.
it's mostly all for movies.
Oh,
It
thank you,
doesn't
Paula.
mention- Yeah, it doesn't mention the anything about filming for shows and stuff. It's just mostly for movie credits and stuff.
Right.
I know. Happy birthday, Paula.
The grants that they get come from a different department, a different division.
Yep.
Yeah, the grants that they use on the island are from the tourism.
Yep. You see that? We got a birthday girl here tonight.
Yep, we do. Happy birthday, Paula.
Linda has to sing it to you.
No.
I can post that.
There you go.
All right. What? Oh, there's one here. No, I was going to click on this one. Surreal Estate was filmed up here. Oh, okay.
So is the lighthouse.
All right, cool.
Willem Dafoe.
Cool.
Yeah. I met him at the market one day. He's a nice guy.
Really?
Yes, he was at the market. He bought
Well, you get to meet everybody at the market. That must be quite the market you got there.
It's huge. It was huge. They moved it, but a lot of celebrities go there when they're in town.
Wow.
Yeah, Willem's really nice. He's short, but he's really nice.
Nothing wrong with being short.
I have a picture actually somewhere.
All right. So the next, they jump over to the interpretive center and they look at this brand new piece of equipment that arrived. This new scanning piece of equipment. We got John here from Brooker. I think it's Brooker. Pronounced Brooker. Looks like it is. And then you got David and Sid showing up, all from that same company, and they have come along with this piece here. I was calling this the Binford 5000 earlier. It's a Sky Scan 1273, and this thing is quite the piece of equipment. The machine is like a 3D X-ray microscope that will allow the team to see inside of a sample. So
it was so funny. They said, "When do you want to set up by today?"
Yeah. That's what Rick said. He goes, later today, we'll bring you over some stuff you can scan. Later today. Well, you would hope that they'd be able to do it that quickly, but they are on a time crunch. Oh, well, look at that. Paula just turned 32 again. Isn't it something? Wow, that's awesome. So yeah, kind of a neat piece of equipment. You know how they go through. The guys go through having to take where every time they find something of some significance, they want to get checked out. They had to ship it off somewhere, wait several weeks, maybe many weeks for it to get looked at, get the analysis back, get the person on the screen in the war room, find out what it was. Then they got the little XRF, the small one, the gun style XRF scanner. They got that one to look at some stuff. Now they've got this baby here. Oh, well, look at that. Kate's coming up. She's going to be 29 again on Wednesday. All right. Well, happy birthday for next week. Well, we'll have to talk about it. Well, you'll have to remind me next week, Kate, when you're next Wednesday when we're on the show. Oh, Jan said her birthday was in a leap year, so she's only 17 and a half. Okay, cool. All right. So, so this thing here is kind of cool. I love watching these little, when I call it the artist rendition of what it's doing, because you get an idea of how it actually does its job. But it's shooting these X-rays across this sample and onto I didn't get a picture of that. There's like a on the other side here, over here on the left side, on the right side, there's like a panel that is actually capturing
Right.
it as it comes across. It's actually capturing it, and then it's being able to analyze it from there. Now, so they can take something like the hammer. Remember when they first found the little claw hammer that they looked at in the war room? That claw hammer was encrusted with it was just looked like a blob, except for you could see the little claw at the end. That was all you could really tell that it was anything of a hammer. Well, supposedly, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but supposedly now you'll be able to see through all that incrustation and see what the actual object is inside. Is that a good description of how that goes?
I would say that's the theory behind it. Yep.
Okay. During this operation, they found several things. This is something that Linda pointed out. This machine was brought in, and these guys were here. They had to get it set up in a day, and they were going to bring some samples over. But they were also there to teach the guys, because they're not staying on the island. John and Sid and I forgot the other guy's name. They're not going to be staying on the island all this time. Dave, thank you. they're going to set it up. They're going to train everybody, or maybe somebody would have to go somewhere and get trained. But these guys were from like Massachusetts or something like that.
Massachusetts, yeah.
Yeah. So they're going to have to train these guys how to use it. But are they also going to be able to interpret what they're reading? And that was Linda brought that up, and I thought that's a very good point because, you see something like this. I mean, without it being a picture of it, like the parchment is, we see the parchment show up right here. You can see the fibrous edge, the little hairs of the fiber of it. You can see that, okay, yeah, that's a piece of paper of some sort. You can see the graining and the different pattern on the paper. But if it's something like, like this, you got to be able to read that and understand what that means. That's got to be something that's a little bit more intense from just having a guy stand around in the room and explaining that to you in a day.
Someone had to read the manual.
Read the do you read manuals? I don't
know. That's what I mean. They're all guys. They're not going to read the manual. This is probably a YouTube video for it.
You don't need a manual. Who reads the manual?
They just watch the YouTube video.
As soon as I'm pressing a button, it's not doing what I want. Then I might get the manual out and go, hey, what's... Okay.
No, I look for a YouTube video. It's easier.
Oh, that's very true, isn't it?
By far.
By far. You're right. Yes, it is. That's a very good point. But anyway, this is kind of cool because they can look at this right away. So anyway, they got a good look of it, at this, the little scanning of the edge. And they thought maybe these were like words or something. And they were talking about some kind of a gall ink. Older ink were made of gall, which is an iron-based ink. So they were speculating about it being some sort of gall ink, and it was reflecting the x-rays like this and scattering them all over. But, they were thinking maybe that was some sort of writing. But, and again, here's one of the side, looking at the edge of it, and you can see the fibers sticking out and the blue areas, which are those little metal flakes on it. Wasn't that what that was?
I think it's supposed to be the
blue
iron.
areas are chunks of iron.
Yeah. They're going to be iron flakes, I think, more than ink.
Yeah, he said it wasn't ink.
Right.
Because it was chunks.
Yeah, gall ink contains iron.
Right.
But this he thought was actual pieces of iron.
Right. John tells the team that based on what they're seeing, he feels that the sample is older, but he suggests doing a longer scan to get better resolution, and they will meet up with them later in the day to get another look at it. So, I think I got my pictures in order here. Go back here for a second. Hold on a second.
That was the picture from later.
It was.
Blue is the picture from later.
Right. Oh, yeah, it was. You're right. Here's the guys in the war room. I skipped right on by it without even remembering. Okay. So the guys met up in the war room to get a better look out of it. And that's when we find out what the paper actually was. And it turns out that, the name of the show, Blast from the Past, which kind of told many of us what, there must have been dynamite. And it was paper that was probably wrapped around dynamite, a stick of dynamite or several sticks of dynamite. Now, where does that come into play? Do you guys remember, that was the gold mine and wrecking company, the old gold mine and wrecking company doing that? What did they say about that? What was it actually that they said about using dynamite? Do you remember?
Well, that they were actually trying to clear the debris and plug the water holes. That they actually set a charge off down around 100 feet.
Yeah, old gold was meeting up with big chunks, and so they decided if they just threw some dynamite down there, they could blast it to smithereens.
Kind of loosen it up a little bit.
And loosen it up.
Yeah. Apparently that didn't work.
Not so well.
Anytime anybody has tried to use dynamite on the island for something, it hasn't really panned out the way... I know, Jan's telling me it's in the synopsis, Jeff. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Read the notes.
Read the notes.
You kind of type those.
Yeah, she does. I tell you what, she does a fantastic job with these things.
But, I was looking today at why this thing collapsed, right? And back in 1861, they dug a total of 6 shafts in that area.
Really?
So I mean, it's no wonder it fell in. They had
It was
63,
really
63
like
workers,
Swiss cheese.
63 workers on site, and they dug 6 shafts.
Oh, wow.
So it's no wonder it collapsed.
Yeah, very good point. Wow. So they threw that dynamite down there, or however they placed it down there. I would imagine they were throwing it. I don't know.
And thrown it.
Yeah, you're not going to go down there and let it and try to get back up that ladder. You know, how many feet down? 100 feet down or whatever. So, but yeah, obviously that didn't work. But, you know, and you see their luck. Now, people are, you know, some people have speculated about why do they bother showing us this when they already know the answer. And I think that the reason behind that is because they're taking us through the life and times of what's happening on the island and trying to show us exactly what they go through, the highs and the lows of finding things. And I appreciate that in them. You know, it's like, like I said, people complain and go, well, they knew before they made this episode, they knew it was dynamite paper. Why did they bother telling us that? They want you to go through that with them. And like I said, I appreciate them doing that. It's the story. Thank you, Curtis. It's the story.
Yeah, I want to know how they figured this out. How did they know it was
right?
paper
And how were
wrapped
they
around
excited?
dynamite?
Yeah. And were they excited about finding a piece of parchment in the first place, or a piece of paper that could have been, you know, yes, that's what David said. Dave Petrell is saying the same thing. He says to take the viewer on an exciting journey. You're exactly right. And that's what I like that exciting journey. Did I have the, you know, at the end, I had a little thing for it. Yes. I mean, that happened, you know, at the end, because you saw their faces when they realized that is it dynamite paper? And they're all just like,
And
were you deflated as well? Go ahead.
The biggest thing of this whole expedition is the story.
Yes.
I mean, that's what it's all about, is the story of what happened. And I mean, I love everything they find. I mean, it could be a piece of wood, it could be a rock. It doesn't matter. It's part of a story, and it's interesting.
If
Yep.
they
See
didn't
what happened in
show
my
us
province.
all of this stuff, they could do 2-hour specials a year,
Yeah. Oh, easily.
and that would be it.
Right.
But this makes it more interesting. It shows you a story. It shows that's exactly what Rick wants. He wants to say. He said it's a story of the island.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's what it's all about.
When you think about it, I mean, we see what this piece of paper turns out to be last night, and we get frustrated. Think of what they feel like.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They're all pumped, they're all hyped, and all of a sudden it's
Yeah. Wow.
Yep.
you know, kind of a cool part of the story, but not the story we're actually looking for.
Exactly.
And that'll come eventually. But right now they're finding the story. It's awesome. I think it's great.
Yeah. The history.
Yeah,
that's
the
what
history
April says.
exactly.
Yeah, that's what April says too. Love the journey. Exactly. And I've told that to many of the guests, the theorists and the guys that are Laird and Stephen and all those guys when they've been on the show, and Carmen, that, you know, we're seeing it through their eyes. And so when we're watching the show, we're going through all that with them. And like I've said before, pieces of wood and pieces of metal and rock and whatever they're pulling up, it all tells a story. Not all of it, but a lot of it tells a story. And that story is what we're trying to get the information on. We need those pieces. We need all that information to come in to put this story together and have a true story when we're done.
I don't think it'd be interesting if they just showed like a couple episodes saying, "Oh, this is where we're digging. Oh, we found gold. Done."
Yeah.
They wouldn't have a show. They wouldn't have a following. They wouldn't have anything. I mean, with the journey they're going through, they're getting millions of followers. They're gaining excitement from it.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, that's the whole point of this. I find is the journey. It's great. I love it.
I am blown away every day by the number of people who say, if they don't find something this week, I'm going to quit watching.
No, they won't.
And then the next week they say, well, if they don't find something this week, I'm going to quit watching.
Yeah. Well, you know, yeah. I mean, do we want to see them pull up some gold coins? Yes, absolutely.
Sure.
We all do. You know, but I think that, you know, that they're pulling us through this story. And here's a good point right there. That's why it's called the History Channel and not the Treasure Channel. Thank you. That's a good point,
well done, Jim.
Yeah, very good point. But,
Paula Steen said the best thing there. She goes, discover what really happened is the true treasure. And that is true. I mean, if you live here in Nova Scotia and this is happening, it's exciting to see what our history was, see what our past was, see what happened on this fabled island, what's going on. It's interesting.
No,
And if they
exactly.
find gold, even better. But
Yep.
finding out what's going on way back, that's exciting.
Yep.
Just think about what people are learning about world history and world travel.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
And the spin-off learning. I mean, just for me personally, the spin-off learning has been
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
Yep.
That's absolutely true because of the whole thing with, the Templar Knights. Sir Francis Bacon. There she is. Hello.
Here we
Say
go.
hi to Kitty. Hi, Kitty.
I've learned
Fancy.
more about Nova Scotia watching this show than I did living here. I mean, this is just shows what our history was, what happened here before I was born, before many people were here. It's really neat to see the amount of people that came here, where they came from, what they did here, how they shaped our province. It's a great show for history.
Yep, it really is. And like I said, learning about like Sir Francis Bacon and all these people that the Portuguese coming over. I mean, I had no idea. And now it's really opened my eyes to what's really happening. I mean, I just want more information, and I've said that to our
And
guests.
I'll tell you, one big thing about it is they've brought Nova Scotia into the world with this show. They've really shown our province off to everybody to say, well, we're here. This is one little spot in our province, but I mean, there's so much more to see. But it's been international, I don't know, exposure for our province, which is amazing.
Yep.
Don't say gold.
The tourism down that way now is just crazy. Before COVID, it was crazy. So I can see what it's going to be like after the restrictions are lifted this month. It's going to be a zoo down that way in the rest of the province.
How many of
Everybody wants to come to Nova Scotia.
How many of us in the States are trying to explain to our families why we want to go to Nova Scotia? Nova what?
Yeah.
Where's
Exactly.
that? It used
What are
to
you
be
gonna
like
do there?
that. It used to be Nova Scotia. Where's that now? It's like, oh, the Oak Island place.
Yeah, let's go to
That's what we're
Bermuda.
known for.
Let's go to Hawaii. Now I want to go to Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Where's Mahone Bay?
Yeah.
Right.
Where is
Yeah,
the
exactly.
home?
Everybody now is Nova Scotia's gotten on the international market because of this show. And this show, it's the history of it.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of people interested. It makes you proud to be from here.
Yeah. Think about Anne Marie over here in Germany. She says that for me, it was the first moment I have watching it in Germany TV. It was a story of the island and the history around the area. I have learned so much history and mystery. Yep, for sure.
I mean, if you're, sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
No, I was just reading what she said there, and it's so true.
I mean, if you're coming to see Oak Island, there are so many historical places in our province, like Halifax down in Cape Breton. You got Lewisburg. There's so many places in this province to go besides Oak Island. But I mean, that's a main attraction. But I mean, if you want history, go anywhere in this province, you're going to find it. It's an amazing province, amazing place to visit.
Yep. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, exactly. Another cove to learn about besides Peggy's Cove.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yep. Yeah.
But the Laganas have done an enormous amount of work for us here to get people interested in our province.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to be one of those millions of people that come up this summer. Hopefully, if everything works out. We've been working with Tom and Henry DeWitt and everything about coming up, and John Edwards. We're trying to get ourselves together to get up there. So yeah.
Someone once told me a couple of months ago. They said the amount of exposure that the Laganas got in Nova Scotia with their show, it's in the hundreds of millions of dollars in advertising you would have had to pay out to get that. This is it's free advertising for us, and it's incredible the amount of exposure it's got for this province.
It's worldwide.
Exactly. And I mean, when they do find the treasure, it's just going to bring even more exposure. So, come on now.
Yeah, I love this one.
Our friend Anne Marie from Germany has been to Nova Scotia twice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Since the show aired, she's made 2 trips from Germany. So it is worldwide.
Oh yeah. Well, my daughter went to England this Christmas time, and she met her future father-in-law, and he said, "Oh, Oak Island, I watched that." And she said, "Yeah, my dad was there for this in November, and he was all enthralled and wanted to know more about it and everything like that." So I mean, it's got exposure everywhere.
Right. Yeah. Look at this statement here. This says it all right here. Let's face it. Now we all know what a Bobby Dazzler is.
Exactly.
Oh, here you go, Linda. Yeah, I tell you, there's going to be a party. Well, I was always saying that I wanted to do a live show, a live stream from the Mug and Anchor. Now I don't know that I can. I got to get permission, and Linda's saying nope, you ain't gonna happen. So we'll find somewhere to do it. We might have to sit out. Yeah, we'll sit at
You can sit at Karen's picnic table.
Well, her internet's kind of wonky over there, though. I think I need good internet to do a live show.
She had good internet.
That's true. It was. Oh, that's right. Yeah, dark on us. Yeah.
We'll get on a salty. We'll get on a boat tour.
And the boat tour, yeah. Tony, I don't know if Tony's all right with doing it on his boat. If not, Colin will, or Oh, I wish I could take my kayak up there so I could go with Karen out on the kayaks. I've got two. I have to strap it down the top. I could probably get it through customs. I don't think it'd be a problem getting it over there. A big boat party. Yeah, exactly. Ludenberg is gorgeous. I don't know. Never been there. Want to go.
Yeah, we send a Christmas tree to Boston every year. Someone just mentioned the Boston Christmas tree.
Yep.
I don't know. What's this? Is this a place up there? Vauxhall Tavern?
Vauxhall is still there, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think so, yeah.
Nothing's happened to it.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, look at this. Dave says there's a nice public gazebo right next to the pub and the water, Jeff. There might be a great... Okay, perfect. Sounds good. Let's do it. Yeah. Colin's got a place. Yes, he does. Okay, we're going to all meet at Colin's place.
Don't tell him, though.
Yeah, we're all going to Colin's place. And we'll go to Colin's and we'll go over and see Karen.
Yeah,
we're all just going to run to Colin's house, though.
Got a lot of people to see while we're up there. Isn't that the truth? Oh, my goodness. We certainly do.
Mahone Bay is absolutely stunning, Barbara.
Yeah.
The three churches are just beautiful. But when you go down, you got to stop in Halifax, and you got to stop in all these little spots because the whole place is like Nova Scotia is a really, really beautiful spot.
Yep. Surprise party at Colin's place. I hope he's got room for everybody. There might be about 40 or 50 people coming.
We're not going to tell Colin, though. We're not
going to tell him. We're just going to show up at his house. I'll find out where it is. All right.
We were talking about the show, weren't we? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind this. I really don't. I think this is fun to, this is all, because here we are having a wonderful chat with 77 of our great friends. So anyway, let's get back to the money pit and wrap this up on what they're doing over there. So, I like to capture these pictures here because it has the number of the feet written on the side of the can. You got 85, 90, and 96 feet written there at the top. So it kind of gives you an idea of where the cans are in relation to how deep they are. And we also know the can is down a lot deeper than the actual dig until then they keep putting it down and then they dig. What are you laughing with?
Is that Colin that says his lawn holds 40 to 50 people?
No, that was Karen Public Cover. Oh, that was her. She said my lawn will hold 40 to 50. Been there, done that. All right, Karen, we're coming. So be ready.
And there's no gathering limits after March, so we're good.
Yeah. I know if it's anything like the UP of Michigan, if you get there if it's too late in the day when the sun starts going down, the mosquitoes come out. Do you guys have a lot of mosquitoes up there?
Yep.
Yes.
So yeah, same thing with the UP. So in the hot part of the day, as long as you're out where the sun is,
stay in the sun. Yeah.
Yeah, you're hardly any mosquitoes at all. But then if you get in the shade or in the woods or where it's cool and shaded, yeah, here they come. They'll carry you away. Suck you dry. Oh, that's another group of people I would like to meet when I'm up there.
Pirates of Halifax? The Pirates of Halifax?
The Pirates of Halifax. Dwight Parker.
Dwight's in our group.
Yes. I want to meet them guys. I want to meet those guys so bad.
They are amazing. They do a festival in Digby the past couple of years, and they're a great group. They're really community oriented. They help a lot of people. They're just an amazing group.
I do. I want to meet them.
Yep. Oh, they're well worth meeting.
Come on, Paula. Let's go. We'll do this. We got a lot of people. Right now we're looking honestly, and I want Linda to go, but Linda might not be able to get up there until September timeframe. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm really kind of eyeballing right now the best, right around in July. First week of July, second week of July, right in that time frame. So
It's a nice time of year too. It's warm.
yeah, nice and warm.
Days are long.
What's that?
The days are nice and long. You're not
The
going to lose
days are
anything.
nice and long. Yep.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask too. Now, in the now we know that the Friends of Oak Island, there's two groups that do tours on the island. One of them is already canceled out for the year, right?
Friends of Oak Island is canceled.
Okay. And then the other one is Oak Island Tours.
Correct.
And Oak Island Tours is going to decide in May.
May 1st is supposed to be the announcement.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's still a chance, and they're going to go so fast, but there's still
all
a
the
chance. To get
restrictions, all the
tickets.
restrictions in Nova Scotia are up on March 21st.
Yeah.
So there's going to be no restrictions, but I think masks are going to be the only thing required in large public spaces,
Mhm.
from what I've been hearing. Hospitals, large public spaces, and long-term care homes, but that's about it.
Okay.
But there's going to be no social gathering requirements or anything like that.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. I'm glad. And it's dropping everywhere too. So that's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, Tony's got his tours too. Yeah. Tony has already told me that when I come up, I have to let him know in plenty of time ahead of time that he will, because he has other people that captain his boats and take the tours out. He said he would be the captain when I come up or when we come up. So I don't know how many people we can squeeze onto that one boat. I don't know what he can take, 6 or 7 or 8, or I don't know how many, but yeah. So anyway, all right. Let's get back to this. But yeah, that was Karen. It said you can walk across the causeway, just not onto the island.
Security guard to get you.
Right. Well, there's they had a guard shack there now.
Yeah, and she's mean. She's funny, but she's strict.
To be mean.
Yeah,
she's funny,
trained to be mean.
but she is strict.
Well, she has to be.
Yeah. Oh
She
yeah.
has to be.
Yeah, she was.
That's a job I would not want to have.
No.
Nope.
She was
Okay.
really good though when we were there.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so now they're over there, and we got the team is over here looking at the EC1 going down. They're now at a depth of 76 to 85 feet as far as the can being down. Let's see. And then there's Danny and Andrew, part of the team. I think I know Danny is rock equipment. Is Andrew, is he part of rock or is he part of Irving?
Irving, I
Irving.
believe.
Irving. I think I thought he was Irving. Yeah, it looks like it's on his hat. He's got the Irving logo there. Yeah, two equipment companies working together to make this happen. Craig comes over and he has this big chunk of, well, I was hoping it was concrete. I really was. I was hoping this was concrete. It was on top of the chapel shaft, or broken
We were
off the
saying
top.
that
of
last
it.
week.
Yeah, I know. And I showed it in the preview last week. It was part of the preview for last week. I was really hoping. But as it turns out, it's a big piece of slate. It's a very obviously slate. You can see it in the picture here. But the significant thing about this was, I think the slate was primarily over on the west side of the island. Wasn't that the case on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the slate originates from. Yeah.
And they found this one on the east side over in the Money Pit. But not only that, they found it. Ian Spooner, Dr. Spooner agrees that the slate should not be found at a depth of 75 feet. Was it supposed to be much deeper than that?
Yeah, well over
They
100
said
feet.
400. I thought they
Yeah.
said.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
here it is here. The western drumlin is made up of hard slate, while the eastern drumlin is made up of anhydrite, limestone, which is much softer, and the slate would be found at a depth of 400 feet, not 75. So, where else did they say that they found slate on the west side? Back in the past,
What did they say? The Money Pit.
in the Money Pit.
That was the
Supposedly,
spot they found it.
the Vaughn, McGinnis, and Smith
there was-
found slate right underneath the dirt level, right?
Yeah, there was a slate platform built, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So whether
BC
that slate was
Gene-
from that, or could be from leftovers from other digs, got pushed in the hole, whatever.
Mhm.
But it shouldn't be there at 75 feet. Is the bottom line.
Right. Yeah. There was a slate found in the original money pit. So that makes this more significant. This piece that they found here, it makes it much more significant that they found it. And I was thinking, okay, could it have been because Dunfield maybe dug it up from it was in his spoils and he pushed it back in the hole? I guess that's a possibility, but finding this slate over here and again at a depth of 75 feet, which should be outside of the Dunfield Dig
It
area.
must have been something significant if they brought it on and aired it on the show.
Right.
That's the
Well,
only
not only that too, but it's not a pebble, it's not a
Yeah.
rock, and it's not so big that it can't be managed by a human being,
exactly.
which tells me that it was picked up for being that size and
Yeah.
managed by a human being.
Right. Exactly. And brought over here.
Right.
So, and you speculate about what it would have been used for. Because obviously, they just, like you said, it was brought over by man. It was done something. Something was being done with this thing, and so that opens up to like I said, to think about what it was being used for. What did they use it for? So some sort of a platform, building a platform of some type or something like that. So
And it must have been significant for them to bring it on and show it on the show too.
exactly, yeah.
But I mean, because if it was just a regular everyday thing, they wouldn't have showed it.
Well, the thing that's nice about the slate is that it does make a nice flat surface.
Mhm.
The slate, oh yeah, that was John Edwards said the slate at the money pit was also known as a threshing floor. Yep. Footing, yeah, and maybe Jan said maybe it was used as a footing for something.
Yep, a base.
Yeah.
Right?
To keep a post from sinking into the ground further underneath a post.
Any kind of a flat platform you needed to build, right?
Exactly.
A floor.
So I'm curious to see if they pull up any more. That'd be neat to find out. Do they actually pull up any more? Okay, in this can here, I grabbed this picture because it says 116 feet, and that's about, you see the sun going down. That's about when they finished up for the end of the episode. Then they found this big chunk of wood, and again, this was kind of neat. And not only that, but there's another one that's been squared off. Again, we don't know the ages of these yet, but I like this one right here. Remember when they pulled that one out? That one was pretty neat because it was not squared off. So
Looks like an old spruce tree or something based on the number of branches that are on it.
yes, that's what I thought too, like an old spruce tree.
Yeah, it's not hardwood to be lesser number of branches on it. So
Right. Exactly. And the bark is still on it. So this would have been used in a hurry. They would have needed this. And I would think that you're not going to, chances are this would have been used as a post, I would think, an upright.
looks like a jack post. Yeah.
Yeah, like a jack post. Thank you. Yes. Something like that. Now, I don't know. The dating on this, it was found to be, let's see. The next hammer grab contains old wood which Rick brings over to examine, and the group notices that there are no saw marks on the square timber. Rick brings over another piece of wood that Marty describes as very crudely done. That's this one. And they are going to continue digging to 150 feet. So this is right around this 84 foot level right here, right around the 85 foot level that they found this piece of wood. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I would say that this is, you got to be getting into, well, I say gotta, you don't have to, I suppose, but I would be getting more towards the original depositors rather than it being searcher. I don't know.
Yep.
At that depth. And would you suppose they're going to get the age of this thing? Maybe. I don't know.
I would.
I would try.
I would do it.
You could at least do dendrochronology on it, right? You get the whole tree there.
Right. Exactly. I would definitely do that.
Rings. Yeah.
Right. And this was where part of the show where they were really looking to see where they're going to bringing up a lot more wood. So, and this is where they were. This is where they left off. They were bringing up several pieces of wood. That's what they're doing here is they're throwing all the chunks into the bucket of the excavator and pulling them up, getting there's more of them laying over here. So now they are reaching that area. They kept saying right around 85, 86, 88 feet, they should be hitting wood, and here it is. It's all coming up. Now, we won't get to see the results of all this until next week's show. But it is interesting. Here's another piece that they brought up right at the end. This was another crudely. Actually, I think this is from next week's show. I think I grabbed this from the preview of next week's show.
But you can see where that looks like it's been beat with an adze or something.
Yeah.
With different notches out of it. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. They are very crudely made, but quickly, trying to square it off as a post or a beam or something. Pretty cool. So I think that pretty much wraps it up there. So there's the last picture of the money pit. There's work going on. And again, you see all this stuff in it. I'm really surprised about this debris that's floating in the woman's memorial here. Hand hewn. Yes, Amy, that's right. Hand
cans left there too.
Yeah, well, there is, and they can go 100. How far did she say that they had enough cans to go 200 feet? Is that what
200
she said?
feet, I think, yeah.
So,
it was 200 feet.
Yep, we got quite a few left over. They haven't put down yet. So, let's see. Oh, that's kind of a neat thought. Kind of have to maybe have a movie put together after this is all said and done in chronological order, explaining how it all began and ended. That's a cool idea.
Can you go back to that last picture you just had there, Jeff?
What's that?
Can you go back to that last picture you just had?
Yeah. Let me get this off of here.
Can you make it a little bigger?
Mm-hmm.
You can see how close they are. You can see where the cans are. You can actually see where they put the first one down, and then you see the second one being put down. They're not that far apart. They look far. You see what I mean?
I'm not sure what you're seeing there.
If you look at the cans that are all lying on the ground there, see the caisson in the ground.
Oh, you're talking about this one right here?
Yeah.
Or is that just a short piece?
I think that's one of the short pieces.
Short piece or if that's a caisson.
No, I think that's a short piece of caisson that's sticking. They had some that were shorter. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They supposedly between TF1 and EC1 they supposedly only moved 8 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is why I've mentioned why I want that. I want an aerial picture, and we're got to work. I have to get this somehow or another. I'm going to make this happen. I need to get like a zoomed in satellite photo of the money pit area. And then I want to take that grid and overlay it so that I can orient myself with the grid on the money pit, because I can't get I can't get my brain wrapped around exactly where everything is laid out. So it's the grid that, I'll pull this down for just a second. It's that grid right here. I want to take a satellite picture of the money pit or a drone picture of the money pit from overhead and lay this grid on top of it in the proper orientation so I can get my brain wrapped around where these things are exactly. I can do it with, Dave, I know, Google Earth, I can get the picture and I can do this grid, but I need to know the actual alignment of the grid on the money pit.
Right. The orientation of the grid.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's not, because when they were doing a couple of weeks ago, when they were drilling, and remember the pipe that they put in right there by the woman's memorial that was blowing the air out of the pipe? That was over here by 13. That was like B13 or something like that. Bingo. So it was over here in this area. So that's over right in front of the woman's memorial over here. My brain keeps thinking the woman's memorial's over here somewhere. So I need to, and I don't know if any of you guys can help me with that. I would really appreciate it. Yeah. So I really need some. If
Amy said this could be done.
Yeah, I know it can be done. I don't have the capability or the equipment to do it that I know of, but I just want to get this on there. But we may have to get Steve Guptill involved in this, because who else knows the actual orientation of how this lays on the money pit? Because I know it's not, at least I'm assuming that it's not, this being up here isn't north. And this is, east over here or west over here and east over here and south. I think it's offset on the money pit. I think, I don't know, but that's my thinking. And I just need to see it like that to help. It'll help me out. I don't know. Maybe you guys think I'm nuts, but I really want that. I really want that picture, because I need to put this together. So I can, when they're talking about a particular spot, like F4 or EC1, and then when they say they move over, because they did say that TF1, and I'm going to bring it back up just for a second. They did say when they put in TF1, they were going to go to the east, right? And put in EC1. The next one was going to be to the east. Is that right? So if that's directly east, then it is off kilter a little bit to true north and south, this grid. Because it's not directly east. East, if it's directly, then again, I don't know. Maybe I'm just wasting my time, but I'd like to have that. So if anybody can help me with that, I'd really appreciate it. But just the grid. I don't need all the holes and stuff, all the wells that have been dug and all the boreholes and everything. Just the grid on top of it would be awesome.
But we need to know the orientation of that grid to the island.
Right. Exactly. Yep. Is the grid true north and south for sure? I don't think it is, Amy. I don't think the grid is actually true north and south. I don't believe it is. I could be wrong, but I don't think it is.
She says it's true north, south for sure.
It is?
Yeah, that's what she says at the end.
Okay. You might be right. Might be right. Okay, so where is if you're looking at the island, okay, if I'm standing in the money pit and I'm facing true north, where would the Smith's Cove Road be in talking about a 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock? If I'm going to point right directly at Smith's Cove, if I'm facing north, true north, where would money?
I think she said she mistyped, Jeff.
Oh, okay.
Where is the map that Jan and I gave you for Christmas?
Right here. Oop. Well, I'm glad that lid was on. Right here.
No, that's not what Jan and I gave you for Christmas.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Oh, that map. Oh, no, that map's over there. That thing's giant. I need to put it up here, back here. That's a giant map. Hold on.
And I think that would be helpful to you.
You're talking about this map. It would. But it's kind of hard to... I got to get this thing framed. I'm going to work on getting this thing framed.
Does it not show northeast, south, and west?
Yeah, right here. Can you see that?
Yeah. So it's just a little off.
Yeah.
So if you laid that out,
I don't know. All right.
Come up this summer, you'll have to drop over and see Steve.
Steve Guptill, I'm going to come and see you. I did send a message to him about all this. I did send Steve a message about this, and we'll see what he says. But that's a blueprint. Yeah, it's like a huge blueprint. That thing's awesome. But I want to get it framed so I don't mess it up. But it's a big, well, you saw how big it was. That thing's giant. Show us it. What? Oh, what the? You want to see that thing again? You can't. I can't even get it all in the camera view. That thing's giant. It is awesome. It's an awesome picture.
it's a copy of the map that Marty and Craig have in their boardroom, their meeting room, in their office in Traverse City. It hangs on the wall behind them, and you see it every time they have a meeting there.
Yeah, Amy says it's 24 by 36. You're about right. That's about. It might actually be bigger than that, quite honestly. It's pretty big. It's awesome. It is really cool, but I need to get it framed. Anyway, all right, that pretty much wraps it up. I mean, do you guys have any other thoughts? This was an interesting show, and I think we're getting really, really close to getting more detail about what's happening. I think they're going to find something in this can. I really do. I mean, I could be wrong, and I'll say so here if it doesn't turn out that way, but I really believe they're going to find something in EC1.
What was it Colin said? That he believes they were there until mid-October with the cans, and then they went really quiet.
Yeah. Well, then all of a sudden, remember the signs went up stopping travel onto the island,
And then they got really quiet.
Yep. Everything was being locked
But
down.
you know what I think about that after hearing Karen talk?
What's that?
That was because the people who live along that road had complained about all the traffic and everything, and they finally got OIT to do something about it, and Scott went out and put that sign up.
Oh, okay.
I think you're reading more into it than there was.
Yeah, I'd heard the same thing, that it was basically public complaints over the amount of traffic on the road.
All right. You could be right. Yep.
Well, I'm into conspiracy, so I'm thinking.
Yeah, really. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, that's just the backstory, though, guys. We really don't know the truth.
Exactly.
Well, you could be right. And that does make good sense. It really does. It really does make good sense.
Well,
So-
no matter what they pull out of EC1, you're going to get answers, right?
Yep.
And sometimes the answer is no.
Yep.
Yeah. That
is
that
true.
was TF1. TF1 brought up a whole lot of wood, and we pretty much assume that wood is coming out of that wood. That wood was the old gold and old gold mining and demolition. What was that last? We think it was that company with FDR. It was
Old
their
gold
company.
salvage company, salvage and wreckage.
Wrecking. So that we think that was their tunnel that they were putting in all their wood and stuff that they were pulling up out of that hole. So by moving over, now they're working in a different area next to that, 8 feet away. So, but I think this might be the one that they're going to find something. I don't know if they put down more than one or not. Maybe they put 3. We know they put down more than one, obviously 2, but that's what I was saying, that they put down 2. Could be 3. All right. Let's see. I'm just going back over the, yeah. It's been fun, Bass. Bass Anderson said, "Thanks, guys. Informative as usual." And I love to have all new people on here again. Having Linda being on here tonight, and Henry was on for a little while, so we're gonna have Henry come back. He was using his phone, obviously, and his phone went dead on him. So we're gonna get him rigged up on his computer with a camera and a microphone and everything else, so he can join us here on a regular basis. Thank you, Dale, for being here tonight. Colin will be coming back. John Edwards will be coming back. Jack will be coming back. We're going to mix it up and keep new people coming in all the time. Maybe one of these days they're going to replace me, and I'll have to come back sometime. Come back and do
Linda
this.
be a good host.
Huh?
Linda be a good host.
Linda would be an awesome host. She's a great co-host. All right, folks. Thank you guys for being here tonight. And remember that we've got no show on tomorrow night for the Beyond Oak Island. We're going to have something on the 17th. I think or not the 17th. I'm sorry, the 24th. And we're going to try to get a special guest to come on for that show for the Beyond Oak Island. That is the Peter Easton's Plunder. We're working on a special guest to come on if he can have the time free to be here with us. But we got, don't forget, Terry DeVoe coming on this weekend. Alessandra Nadovari and Tom Burns are my special co-hosts for that show. It'll be 2:00 on Saturday. Terry DeVoe. So be here for that. We love when you guys show up and mix it up with us. Don't forget to click on that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up if you like our content. Thanks, guys, for being here. Thanks, folks, for showing up tonight. We will see you next time right here on the Curse of Oak Island and Beyond live stream. Good night,
everyone.
Thanks, everybody.